Hello, friends. The topic of discussion today is how to get the first 5 employees for a startup. So, for a startup, it is as important to get the first set of employees as important it is for them to get the funding. A lot of times, the startups do not give preference to this part of the business because, end of the day, unless and until you get the right resources, your business or your startup is not going to roll. We end up focusing a lot on product development or the pricing or the marketing strategy plan or a lot on making presentations for funding, but we give a very less preference on the human resource side. Is it not important? It is as important as we have marketing or we have finance, and it's very difficult to get good employees for a startup. You may end up getting the funding at times, but you may not end up getting the right resources. So, is there any secret of getting the first 5 resources for your startup? There is no secret. But yes, you need the right approach to get the first set of people to work with you. What happens with a startup is that you do not have a lot of choices. You'll have to get people. The first thing you have to do is find people who want to work with you, find people who are interested to work with you. If you find anyone, if you come across to anyone who is open in working with you, go ahead, hire him. Don't get into the technicalities of that individual, like how much he knows and how much he doesn't know and how is good he is in the technical part, or how good he is into sales, or how good he is into XYZ. If he buys the idea of your startup and if he's open in joining you, bang on, get him on board ASAP. These people are going to be the brand ambassadors of your company when you grow or you don't grow. The second most important thing is get him at a premium, which means for a startup, for if you look from the candidate's perspective, he has multiple options to join a job. When he comes to a startup, he comes with a risk of losing the job, risk of degrading his profile, risk of not getting the work in the initial stage, or risk of even spoiling the work profile he has of his experience. So offer him a lucrative salary. Do not try to bargain with these people. If he's open to join, get him on board, pay him more than what he's expecting. And that's where a lot of startups make mistake. They negotiate a lot. Negotiate a lot. Don't do that. The third thing, sell your story. So when you're a startup, you don't have that setup, you don't have that infrastructure, you don't have that people to talk, you don't have that customers to show. So you should have the right story. You should have the determination of communicating what you are going to do to the person whom you're interviewing. So he should be influenced by your idea and he should be convinced that you are going to do good. If you have the passion about your company, you will have to show that to the candidate that, see boss, this is what we are going to do and this is what you can get it. So be passionate and tell the right story of your company. Show them what is in store for the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 3 years, and where you intend to take your company. Number 4, do not get into a lot of formalities. Keep it simple, to be honest. Like you don't get into a lot of things that I want you submit some documents, original documents, do a bond stuff for 2 years, 3 years, or 18 months, or 1 year. Don't get into any technical things. If he's open, if he fits into your budget, if he has understood our story and he's passionate, equally passionate to work with us, get him on board. Don't get into a lot of technicalities. The last point, the fifth point, the interview process, right? So for a startup, don't have a long interview process. Don't follow Infosys, Wipro, Flipkart. Be what you are. The founder is in direct process of getting the interviews done. Ensure that the founders take the interview, and it's just one interaction and you get through with things. Try to finish it up ASAP. So what happens is, if the candidate is there to meet you and you take time, you have 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, what happens is the candidate may lose interest. He also may feel that, boss, being a startup, these guys are like doing too much of things. So keep it simple, keep the interview process very simple, and this will have a good impact to the candidate. In fact, you can influence the candidate in a meeting. The more he comes, his interest goes down. So it's a human psychology again. So if I come for the first time, I'll have the same. My interest will go down when I come for the second time. And in the current scenario, I don't like coming 2 times, 3 times, 4 times for the interview, because it's not Infosys, or it's not Wipro, or it's not a Flipkart, right? So keep it simple. Keep the interview process very simple. So if you follow these 5 things, right, get a person who wants to work with your company, pay him a premium, tell him the right story, keep the process simple, and have a shorter interview process. Following these 5 simple things, I'm sure you'll get your first couple of employees in the right way. And do not forget that getting the first set of employees is very, very important for a company. As important as funding, as important as marketing, as important as strategy. So, happy hiring, and I hope this video has helped you to solve the small but a very important problem of resources for a startup. Thank you.